Welcome to Moral Libertarian View, a podcast-style program where we discuss big ideas to see if they can contribute to more individual liberty and equal opportunity, values that are at the heart of the moral libertarian idea. Today, we are going to talk about what is meant by the word progressive, partly in response to recent remarks from Kim Iversen, who suggested that progressive was being co-opted by people who she didn't consider progressive. However, from what I see, the problem is less with some people using the word progressive incorrectly, but more with the fact that there isn't an agreed definition for the word at all. For example, both Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden consider themselves progressive, but most Bernie fans don't consider Biden progressive. Furthermore, while Kim Iversen and most Democrats probably consider progressive to be a good thing, most Donald Trump fans and Republicans consider progressive to be bad, even though some of them, like Tulsi Gabbard, who Iversen would definitely consider progressive. It's a word that has created unnecessary confusion and probably unnecessarily limited the support base for candidates like Tulsi Gabbard and Andrew Yang, just to name a few. Let's consider Iversen's view first. Iversen, who is a big fan of Tulsi Gabbard, considers progressive to mean things like getting money out of politics and getting out of unnecessary wars. You know, the things Tulsi Gabbard is known for. These things are also why even plenty of Republicans like Tulsi Gabbard when they strongly dislike other candidates like Kamala Harris and Elizabeth Warren. Therefore, if getting money out of politics and ending regime change wars are what people agree to be progressive, then many Trump supporters wouldn't be opposed to progressivism. But then, most Trump supporters are indeed very opposed to progressivism, so they must define it differently. So how does your average Donald Trump supporter define the word progressive? Many of them think that progressive means super SJW, with all the identity politics, political correctness, and anti-free speech that comes with it. You know, take how Hillary Clinton behaved in 2016, and exaggerate everything by 10 times. Some on the right probably also define progressive to include what Jordan Peterson famously calls postmodern neo-Marxism, which mostly comes from French postmodernists like Foucault and are definitely not progressive ideas. To your average Trump supporter, progressive doesn't have too much to do with stopping the wars. Rather, to them, progressives are those people who will take away your free speech and tell you to check your privilege. No wonder they dislike progressives so much. Which is very ironic because, from what I understand, many people who consider themselves to be progressive think that true progressives should focus on the important issues like ending the wars and leave the SJW issues alone because racial and gender equality has largely been achieved anyway. But if you are going to self-identify as a progressive, the average Trump supporter will think the exact opposite. This just shows how language needlessly divides us. The truth is, most people are against the endless, needless wars. Most people are against the power imbalance between globalist corporates and everyday working people. Most people are also against the divisive identity politics and the many postmodernist excuses to undercut free speech. We are more united by these things than divided by the label progressive or its opposite, that is, conservative. Vaguely defined labels often prevent us from seeing common ground. That is why those who truly want to serve their people should have little use for vague labels like progressive. That's all for today. I'll be back next time to discuss another big idea. Subscribe if you want to follow our story. The transcripts are available on my website and my Medium profile. And remember to resist the hive mind and stay individualistic. The world depends on it.